Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the first ever World Women's Snooker U.S. Open live from Seattle, Washington. We're in Ox Billiards. We've got some great semifinal action coming up for you. Just before we get started, we're going to step aside for a short word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back to kick off the semifinals.
Hello, I'm Andrew Wilson, Chief Digital Officer here at Microsoft. I'd like to congratulate you all on the first US Women's Snooker Tournament here in the United States. Have fun, and I wish you all the very best of luck with your games.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And you're in store, everybody. I hope you've tuned in. That helps to like that stream. We can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.tv. This is going to be a great one to kick us off on the semifinals. We've got Rebecca Kenner, the fourth-ranked woman in the world, taking on fellow countrymate Emma Parker, who is number 5th in the world. Dave Daly is our referee. David Burney is in the booth with you. And we're glad you're all tuning in on this Championship Sunday live from Ox Billiards. Emma has won the toss, and she's elected to break off. And here we go. And that's a good way to get started. Definitely putting your cue ball tight to the bulk cushion. It's tight to the cushion like that. It's can't get much action on your cue ball, and you got to be very careful. If you jack up a little bit and you hit down on it, you could put some inadvertent siding on it. So nice containing safety there by Bex. And we're happy you're all tuning in on the stream. Feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any comments or questions, good to see that there's some support being already shared for Bex. Definitely put that through the stream. I think sure through the Ethernet that these women will hear that. They'll ride on it, so send the support. So both players did have a quarterfinal match earlier, so this is their second match of the day, but our quarterfinal matches moved on quite swiftly earlier today. So both players have a good rest, hopefully not too much. Hopefully they've kept the killer instinct alive. And these reds are kind of opening up a little bit. And we're in that part of the tournament then where the one little mistake could cost you a frame. These are high caliber players right here. I might have wanted that one back, but got fortunate. It's got a good cue ball. It's tight to that bulk cushion. It's tough with all those reds all over the place. That a path back to bulk for Bex is going to be tricky. A well-played containing safety there on first glance. It doesn't look too advantageous for Emma. Yeah, that was a nice red there. Obviously on the angle she was going to be able to hold for any pink or black, but the blue is nice. And we'll see what Emma can do with this. And periodically we will be updating you on the other semi-final. It's between Jamie Hunter and Mary Talbot. So sometime maybe in between frames we'll be able to go to some bonus coverage there. But this is our featured match. Thanks for the kind words, Chuck Jones. Yes, it's a great venue here, and if anyone is listening that's in the Seattle area, there's plenty of seats available. The admission is free and the drinks are cool, so come on down on a late August day. The black spot is taken, so all you newcomers, and color needs to be respotted after being pocketed. If their spot is taken, it goes to the highest value that's available, and in this case the black went onto the pink spot. And honestly, if all spots are taken, then the color ball will go close in a line with the top cushion closest to its original spot. Yes, Tanya, I guess you would need a U.S. visa to play in the tournament. Hopefully something you can get working on, as all the organizers and everyone back at World Women's Snooker is really happy with this event. And it's great to see a ranking snooker event on U.S. soil. This is the first time it has ever happened. Thanks for tuning in from Germany. Diana Schuler, a fellow German, is our tournament director. She is also playing in the tournament, but I believe this is maybe her first time doing a actual ranking event, and she's done a fantastic job. She's had some great help as well by Matt Hewitt. But hopefully, too bad you have to go to bed soon, because we're just getting going on these semifinals, and the finals will be coming up afterwards. Those are slated to start at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's a good first strike there by Emma. But the problem is the caliber of these players, one little miss and you could be sitting in your chair for quite a while and agonizing over that last missed shot. Yeah, the pink's kind of tied up. Black's so-so. There's the little top left corner pocket that it does go to, but you got to get in position there. What she might have is that red to the right of the black. Might be able to take that into the top right corner and come off the cushion and for the black into the top left corner. It was tricky, but it was the shot to play. Now she's going to let Emma come back in. A little shot to nothing with that red in the open in between the pink and black spot. It's tough in these first frames, definitely of a semi-final big event. A lot of the adrenaline is going on and you just want to kind of just settle the nerves a little bit, play at your pace. That's why you might be seeing a few shots that just aren't dropping for either player. But I don't know if the green has come to Beck's rescue there. Too much there. Just leaving this red onto the top left corner for Bex. Gonna have to go in and out of bulk. There's a lot of room beside the yellow and brown that she can go through. It's okay. Could have been better, but the important part of this game is to stay at the table. That's where you win frames and matches. Bex is just struggling just a little bit on those cuts. Seems to be okay. She's got the blue into the yellow pocket. And Emma, one of our the tallest of players on the tour, definitely with these large tables. The rest is your friend. Can't think of it as an impediment. Think of it more as a helping aid. And yes, Dr. Snooker, these are Strachan number 10 cloth that's on the table. They just got freshly installed, I think about a week ago by Simon Barker, 2 weeks ago by Simon Barker. Little shot there. You'll notice if you're a newcomer to the sport, they don't like to take long shots, short, compact shots. This looks like a nice little red into the top left corner and stun it up for that blue. Won't be too concerned about the cluster of reds just now, as there's a few open. And yes, they are star tables. Mike Dominguez, the owner-operator of Ox Billiards, spares no expense. So a lot of the American players that I was talking to that were in the events feel very privileged that their owner has gone to all leaps and bounds to bring the best equipment to Ox. And these also as well are pro cut pockets, so they're really tight. A lot of our American friends do usually come from the pool side of things, but talking to some of those players, they really enjoy playing on the snooker table as they go back to the pool table. It seems like they're a giant on such a small table, as these snooker tables are quite massive, 6x12s. It's quite possible, Dr. Snooker. I haven't been out to Toronto to see these pockets you talk about, but I think there is work in progress that I think in North America they're trying to create templates so the pockets can be equal throughout all venues that are played in North America. That makes it easier on a tournament director if you give the players the best equipment, the best balls, the proper conditions. That's one less thing they have to complain about. That is true. Snooker is Dr. Snooker. Snooker is a tough game just to start off, and if you start shrinking the pockets, it really can discourage the newcomer to the game. So sometimes it's good to have a variety in these clubs. Get some big pockets, people start making shots and get some confidence, and keeps them in the game. Nice effort there by Emma, but unfortunately that red is kicked out into the open. Where that pink is, and there's a few open reds, this could be a great chance for Bex to get back into the frame. You're never really into it until you get that first frame on the board. Just checking if that ran just enough, if you can get past the pink for that red. I think it's blocking the path. Yeah, just going to glance off the reds and come back into bulk. It's one thing that's been very advantageous, having these British players overplaying with the Americans, and we did have a Canadian down as well, but they see that with America sometimes coming from the pool background, they're going to go for a lot more shots, where snooker's not all about making pots. It's more about, you know, what you leave your opponent rather than what you make. Obviously you want to make a good score, but you also have that in the back of your mind. You don't want to force a low percentage shot when you easily could have a high percentage safety and put your opponent in fits of trouble. Well, this might get a little scrappy here in the first frame. 4 of the 5 reds are finding home close to the cushions. We hope you all are enjoying the great action here. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.tv. Just search out Ox Billiards. Feel free to let your friends know. Share it with everybody. Smash that subscribe button, because that will keep you up to date when we go live in our final a little later today. Very nice shot there by Emma. Kind of got where she wanted her white ball, that's for sure. But that pink needed to drop for her. But, these are a bit tricky. You have to give it all the attention. Yeah. That's a thin cut. If she's wanting to go into the top right now, it looks like she's going to go in the top left. Be a gap in between the blue and green. Oh, what a shot there. Great shot by Rebecca. There was a gap, and it's put her nicely on the black. It's the side pocket. She's going to have to come up and down the table to come back. Just those first frame jitters. You can't blame the jet lag, as both of them, Rebecca and Emma, have traveled over from England. Long journey, that's for sure. Pretty much had to travel the entire span of the North America, that's for sure. There should be a link on womenssnooker.com where you can find the results, as well as our tech whizzes. I think I've just put up the link there, so click there. You can find all the results on all your favorite players. How did that one fall out? Hold on, black. Ooh. So a quick little update. Jamie Hunter has taken the first frame with Mary Talbot, but it is a best of 7. So you got to get 4 frames to your side for the good to win. That's a nice shot there. There might be a little bit of an opening to click off the right side of this red near the top cushion for Rebecca. Yes, for you players that are not super familiar with these players, Emma is the one with all black and blonde hair with tying their bun up in her hair. And Rebecca wears all black as well, but her ponytail is rather falling down over her shoulders. Which is an interesting philosophy because, you know, if one strand of your hair touches the ball, if you're over cueing something, that would be a penalty. Early on, we did have a rule of only 3 attempts at a foul and a miss, but now that we're in the latter stages, it's going to be unlimited foul and miss putbacks. I believe right now the highest break is 53, Ray. But the link has been posted to the scores, and you should be able to find out the high breaks there. So if you do a little investigating while you're on your computer, feel free to report back to us. And some of our people behind the scenes will take a look and see what we can get. Thank you, MGL Q Sports, for responding that the high run was 61. So no centuries yet, but with the caliber of these semifinalists, I think that's quite possible that we could eclipse a century in the next few hours. A little tough because you're cueing over that pink ball. I think she needs just a little bit of a swerve just to get around that brown to put this black into the yellow pocket. She's just going to look to play safe here. Yeah, with the format of how the tournament is, our round robin, there were 3 groups of 5. So you have 4 matches there, and they're best of 3s. So sometimes in the longer format tournaments, you'll see higher breaks just because they can be a free flowing and take their chances. But when you're playing a best of 3 and you really want to get every match win possible, it's tough to really free form. You kind of want to tighten up a little bit and play good match play snooker. So I wonder if she can see the double. She's going to attempt this double into the left middle pocket. I'm just going to play safe and don't know if Bex can just clip that red. There's a lot of things in the way. She was. Good shot. That black ball has rather taken the green pot or the yellow pocket out of commission. So as much as this game is really tough with 6 pockets, it's even tougher when you only have 5 available. Just a little heavy away from brilliance. I think it's poked out a little bit. That Bex can see it. once again, that black ball has come to the rescue there for Rebecca. Needed to run a bit more. Wanted to get behind the pink there. Both players have had great safety success in this first frame. Emma with 92 and Rebecca with 88 percentage. But Emma came out strong in the first frame and had a high pot success, but now it seems like Bex has taken that over with a 61 pot success so far to 58% for Emma. Well, 11 points in it and 27 on the table. The only real trouble ball looks like that pink. She will in fact need that pink to win the frame. Not a bad miss. You can have good and you can have bad misses in this game, and that wasn't too bad. She hit it with a decent amount of pace at least that yellow ball is going to not sit in the cushions or the jaws of the pocket. Bounced out with the pace that she had. Sometimes those double kisses can be deadly, as it's always coined the dreaded double kiss. But I think Emma has come out all right on that one. But it does leave Bex with an opening to make a good retort on safety. But didn't get the pace on that yellow ball. It's a nice shot there by Emma. Good to hear that you're tuning in from Southeast England. A little fluke there, but as the etiquette is, a little raise of the hand from Bex to acknowledge that that wasn't what she was planning on doing. We're definitely showing with this tournament that snooker is a global sport. We've got people tuning in from England, Spain, Portugal, Australia, Canada, and we're actually here in the United States of America for the very first ranking snooker event. It's the US Open on the world women's snooker scene. Yeah, I think she wanted that to run a little bit more. This is a good chance for Bex to lay a snooker here. She basically really just has to stun her cue ball so it sits right where that green ball is. The green ball will run around and the brown will be a nice hiding spot. And Bex has got a nice cue ball as well, tight to the cushion. Looks like she's going 2 cushions. this situation. She can be put back to the original position. Our referee has called a miss. See, Bex has a couple options there. She can put it back, which she is doing. She could also take a shot from there, or she can let her opponent shoot from there. But either way, Bex will get 4 points there for that foul because Emma wasn't able to hit her green ball, but a minor little adjustment from Emma, and she should be able to hit it on the second time. Very nicely done there. Got a nice solid contact on that brown. If there was a flick or a kiss, it might have just pushed the cue ball to the left side of the table, and at least she should have been able to see the green. But she has got the snooker here. The distance is going to be tough to stun that cue ball right there. Yeah, it was going to be tricky. Chuck, I don't think there's been any maximums on the tables at Ox. These are very, very tough tables, that's for sure. They play quick, and the pockets are tight. I believe Judd did come out here, and the highest break so far at Ox was Judd, and he had a 133 break. I believe he might have done that on our referee Dave Daly. Not sure. I did talk to Dave. As much as Dave thoroughly enjoyed playing Judd, he probably had about 5 shots and then sat for the rest of the frame. That's why this game can really be tough on the psyche. You know, when you're watching your opponent make these high runs, obviously if the frame is still in balance, it's agonizing to watch your opponent just accumulate more and more points, but as soon as the frame is lost, you automatically just turn into their biggest fan. So it's a funny little game, but it keeps us coming back all the time. This might hit the black. Oh. A free ball might be awarded here too. I don't know if that cue ball can go past and hit the right side by the blue. Emma's just talking to Rebecca and everyone's coming over to take a look. The marching line there, I think Free Dave Daly was the first to take a look. He's just going to bring out a judgment call here. So Dave just want to take a look, and I think he's going to There's a steal he must have. Just moving that ball there. Just doesn't want to hit the green, so. The free ball awarded. Now in this situation, Emma can nominate any ball as her green ball. However, if she does snooker herself, or snooker her opponent behind that said free ball, or her object ball, then that would be a foul there. So she can't, it saves a long time ago, I think people found the free ball and they would just roll up to their nominated ball, and they felt that that was just a little unfair. So they rectified that rule. And Bex as well gets a nice little run of the ball there. That green was going towards that pink. It hit it right on. If there was a little flick, it would have pushed it over the middle pocket. Yeah, lots of respect between both of these opponents. It's a nice shot there by Bex. So 15 in it, 25 on. Scrappy little first frame here. Each player just trying to struggle a little bit to find some form and some fluency. But it's been a great safety battle, that's for sure. But, those first frame jitters. It's the semi-final. The World Women's Snooker US Open. Quite a miss there by Emma, actually. We'll see more often than not. They'll make the adjustments and come back with a more successful second shot. It's only when you're really tightly frozen to a ball in a snooker that it can lead to multiple misses. Comes attempt number 2. And success, a much better shot there, and hasn't really left that green on for Bex. That hit on that blue. It's left a shot on here for Emma. Naturally it will go up and down the table, hopefully not hit the black on its way. Just hitting that black took a little bit out of the pace, but the brown is still on. Just how That is correct, David Brock. You just made a comment of obviously if a free ball is awarded when the pink and black are left, when only those two balls are left, you can play a snooker behind the pink. Mr. Brock, he's always keeping me on my toes. Pacey on that shot, wanted to be behind the black. And was coming around and looking at the angle. She's had great success with her long pots throughout the tournament, so yeah, two great competitors here. You knew it was going to be scrap here and there, and see what happens after this first frame when it concludes. I think whoever takes this one will have definitely some good momentum and confidence. I know Emma's been leading the whole frame, so she'd definitely like to keep the lead and take this first frame. Because if Bex was able to come back and take the frame, it'd be rather devastating to Emma. Because as we always say, you know, you're not really in the match until you get your first frame on the board. She might have maybe won a cushion first, but good weight there, good brown ball. Ray, there are ways that you can find men's professional or the professional tour. There's a streaming service called DAZN. I believe it's a $100 or maybe $200 for a year subscription. I'm not sure, you'll probably have to research that yourself, but there's DAZN. Matchroom as well does play some matches from time to time. And I think that's about it over in North America, or around America. Nothing really on the cable TV, but feel free to put pen to paper and maybe get in touch with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN, and I'm not sure how many channels they have these days. Is it up to ESPN 7 or something like that? And maybe they could find a way to put snooker on there. Or maybe if you have some kind of VPN or those computer analytical things, you might be able to get Eurosport or BBC Sport or BBC, as those are carriers that do it over in Europe and Britain. So the great etiquette of this game, obviously, both players want no advantage swinging one way, so they'll both discuss with referee Daly just to get that ball exactly back where it is, and both will have to agree before any shot is played after a foul is incurred. shot is straight on here for Emma, this brown. It is her frame ball. Played aggressive there, and that might be treacherous. This is a good opportunity for Bex to steal the first frame, but you've got to just concentrate. I think she's got just a bit of an angle. If it was straight on into that middle pocket, she could screw back for the pink, but I think there's just a subtle angle. So having a good long look at it, definitely. Let's get into those tense moments. Very nicely done there. This would be quite the steal here. Emma has been leading the frame throughout. All just comes down to this black for a 1-0 advantage. Very nice pot there by Rebecca Kenna. She is dynamite with the rest, so she takes this first frame, and we'll be right back after a short commercial break with frame 2. And we're back with frame 2 action of this semi-final between Emma Parker and Rebecca Kenna. Kenna did a great job to steal that first frame. Let's see if she can continue that momentum into the second. David Burney is in the booth with you. We're glad that you're tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.tv, wherever you find great streaming snooker. Be sure Northeast Snooker Center to tell the ladies that you were tuning in and you wish them all the best. Well, pretty much this shot is about 11 feet 11 inches here for Rebecca using the whole table. It's just the one tough part of controlling that cue ball after that. Yeah, that was a tough shot, but she was fortunate that she was going to cannon into the reds to hold the cue ball, but missing the pot has given Emma a chance. I think this red does go past the green. That was a long pot there for Emma. But just as well as we're getting started in this second frame, a little update that Jamie Hunter has taken the second frame and has a 2-0 lead over Mary Talbot in our other semifinal action. Donald pretty close, I would think. It's scheduled for a 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time start. So we'll just see how things are going along, obviously. But that is what it's scheduled to. Obviously, there might be a little bit of a break after these semifinals, no matter where we get to. But just keep that stream going, and it will pop up when it commences. But yes, we're scheduled for 6 p.m. And once again, a black ball is kind of taking another pocket out of the equation here. I know there's that pool game called One Pocket, but I wonder if you ever play 5 pocket snooker. It's no problem, Donald. It's what we do here. If you have any comments or questions, if you want to put your support out there, and as well, we have a great community as well. Our good friend David Brock is always on the stream, and he's a wealth of information, always keeping me minding my P's and Q's and my pinks and my blacks. So it's getting a bit interesting here. As the reds are getting spread out, colors are spread out. It's the first one in could really score heavily. It's a nice starter there for Emma. Just wondering if she can get by that red to the black into the top left corner. She does have the blue, and there's lots of reds around. Just gotta keep wary of that red ball that she's queuing over. I think there's always thoughts of it. Cab 3121 that asks if there's plans for another ranking event to come over to the U.S. I know Mike has been talking with the Women's World Snooker Organization as well. I believe he was talking with Jonathan's son, who came down from Vancouver, Canada yesterday. So there was some good chats about maybe just having a loop of either, some events in Seattle and Vancouver that these women could play in. So, but sometimes, it all comes down to dollars and cents. If the sponsorships is there and the prize pots are there, the players will come. So if you've got a connection on some Brazilian gold that we can turn into some snooker sponsorship money, Cab, that would be fantastic. And we can continue bringing you these great snooker tournaments this side of the Atlantic. Nice double there by Bex. It's unfortunate Emma just kind of was a little thrown out of position on her last shot, and that brown didn't go in for her. And Emma's got to know that this is not the situation that you want to put Bex into. A very strong player. One being ranked 4th in the world on the women's scene, and as well as playing on the Pro Tour, as the women's tour is still considered an amateur tour. But believe you me, there are some very, very good shot makers in this group of ladies. Well, top prize is taking $1,200, but more importantly, the distinction of being the first U.S. Open Women's Snooker Champion. That's worth more than any prize money, I think, out there, because that's going to be in the history books for many, many, many years to come. We have had some excellent sponsorship by Littman Lights, Strachan Cloth, and Microsoft. But we're always looking for some more. But it's baby steps. We're just slowly growing. As I said, Mike has done a wonderful job. I think when you come to America, not a lot of people are aware of the game of snooker. They're more familiar with pool. Although I have been quite surprised with my stay down here in Seattle, talking to a few Americans, and they are aware of the game of snooker. They're just saying it's way too tough. And that's also in Canada. They had a rich history, obviously, with some great Canadian players on the scene, like of Cliff Thorburn, Kirk Stevens, the late great Bill Werbenick, Jim White, Brady Golan, Alain Robidoux, Bob Chaperone, who was the 1990 UK champion. And then things whizzled out a little bit there. There was some good discussion yesterday, as it's possible that the pro game, it has been discussed. It's not a lie or anything like that, that it was in a tough state in the early 2000s, and that might just have a trickle effect all the way down the way. And now with this great invention of the internet, it can be seen more, as in these streams. We can pick up these events that are in North America as well, pick up the pro events, so people can now see the snooker. And I think a lot of people are identifying with it, as when you see it, so hopefully some young girls out there could see this event and get inspired to pick up a cue and follow in their footsteps. And definitely, if there was a high-ranked American player, it's just going to inspire more and more when you have a fellow countryman or countrywoman on the scene that you can inspire if they can do it. It always takes one to open up the door, and then a lot will follow. It is true, Donald, like they refer to it as the men's tour, quote unquote, but it is always allowed women in it. And actually, there are 4 players on the Pro Tour right now. Rebecca kind of is one of them. So it's just basic steps, because it is a sport that both men and women can excel at the same level. You see obviously some sports like American football or even soccer, those are different body type, I guess, shall you say, in those sports, and that's why there's driven, like, I think, different leagues for men and women. But snooker and golf and sometimes a lot of individual sports, it seems more often than not, can blend the sexes together. As there was that late great battle of the sexes way back when Billie Jean King in the tennis world defeated, scrambling for the gentleman's name, but I'm pretty sure someone out in our chat room can fill in my blanks. So, and then there is a mixed doubles as well coming up in the snooker world in a short time back in England at Milton Keynes. There will be 4 teams, 1 man, 1 woman per team, and it fits to be quite exciting. I think Rebecca is teamed up with Mark Selby, I believe. So, yeah. Grab that DAZN package soon and tune in, because that should be lots of fun. Bobby Riggs, good call. Thank you very much, Victor, and thanks for confirming, Donald. Not to be confused with Bobby Briggs from the great TV show Twin Peaks that was filmed very close to here in Seattle, Washington, just in the Snoqualmie region. So there's 2 great reasons to come down to Seattle. Check out the lovely room Ox, and check out the World Women's Championship. U.S. Championship, that is. And then take a little trip over to North Bend and get yourself some fine cherry pie. I wonder if the traveling has just become a factor a little bit here. Yes, David Rock, you took the words right out of my mouth. As an Englishman himself, he did come over and play in the Seattle Open back in March. And jet lag can really catch up to you from time to time, especially traveling. Like, it's about, I'd say, a 10 or 11 hour flight from England over here to the Pacific Northwest. So there's only, an adrenaline can only do so much. As talking with Bex, she foreboded me from mentioning what time it was actually back in Britain. So hopefully no one has told her. It just, she said it rattles with her mind and kind of puts her off. So each player has their own little mantra and how they have to deal with it. True, and maybe you can get some more sponsorship, and they can just our players from Britain can come over a little bit earlier, get acclimatized. But it's the one thing you have to deal with being on a world tour is, as much as this is the first time we're in the U.S., the women's do travel quite a lot. Their next event, I believe, is going to be in the in Scotland. And they're also traveling to Australia. And the World Championship would be in, I believe, Thailand this year for the women. Hey, Ashley, thanks again for tuning in. Good to hear you all the way from down under in Australia. I agree, Gareth. You know, it just comes once you start hitting more and more balls come down, you get that confidence level. Yeah, this looks like a great opportunity here for Bex. They put our mark on this frame with a high break. Thanks, Steve Smith, for letting us know there also is a women's event in Belgium. Home of Luca Barcel, great snooker player. She won the first event on the Pro Tour this year, and hopefully he can win some more. Just got to beat that Crucible bug. Seems like you can win everywhere except the Crucible, so... I don't know, it seems like snooker's doing well. It's growing more and more. Obviously, a little hiccup with that big pandemic. But, you know, it's quite interesting talking to Mary Talbot. I was doing some research on her, and she played a lot and then all of a sudden took a 20-year gap. And she just said she just stopped playing. You know, it wasn't anything. It wasn't, she decided to go the family route or anything like that. Just wasn't playing. And then all of a sudden the pandemic hit, and she kind of found her cue again and picked it back up. And now she's a semi-finalist in the U.S. Open. So sometimes that pandemic can be a blessing in disguise. As I think more and more people are getting into this game, as it was one of the only sports really that could be still played because they played it behind closed doors, didn't have any fans, but still many people throughout the world were able to tune into live sport. And how can you go wrong? We love live sports because it's very unpredictable. As the actor Michael Douglas once said, I'm not really much of a movie fan because I know how the movies are going to end. I'm more of a sports fan because it's so unpredictable. He doesn't know what's going to happen. So I'm not sure if the great Michael Douglas, the actor, is a snooker fan, but I'm pretty sure if he hasn't seen the game, once he does, I'm pretty sure he'd be hooked, just like all of us. Speaking of movies, where's the DeLorean there for Emma? She needs to call Doc Brown and go back in time and erase that bad shot. It's left a great opportunity here for Bex to take the second frame. If this blue, it will be snookers required. A little nod there. And that's a concession there. So Emma's back up against it, trailing 2-0. It's a best of 7, so 4 frames are needed. A quick update, Jamie Hunter is leading the third frame 30-24, and we'll just step aside for a short commercial break, or are we going to go over to table 2? Nope, it's commercial. just as we were wait for Rebecca Kenna to come back to start the third frame. Just some stats that we have here. The pot success for Rebecca is 76% to 55% for Emma. The safety success, Rebecca's leading in that by 87%, where Emma has 86 safety success. Rebecca has the highest break in the match so far at 28, and they're both close around the same average shot time, as Rebecca is at 25 seconds and Emma's 26. So it's pretty even. It obviously went all the way down to that black ball in the first frame, but Beck's showing her class, her form. But Emma's the 5th ranked player in the world, so no slouch here. So she knows what she needs to do.
How you doing there, Dave? David?
Now that's Mike Dominguez, the owner of Ox Billiards. He's not talking to me, I don't think. I think he's sitting right beside me, so he knows I'm doing well. But he's reaching out to our good friend, David Brock.
Mr. Brock, we do miss you here. Hope to see you soon. Next time you got to come a little earlier.
Next time you got to come a little north of the border. We'd love to see you in Canada, David.
That's very true. So this is a very important frame here for Emma.
Mm-hmm. Ronnie does have tennis elbow. I would think it would affect both arms when you're playing, no matter which is the stronger arm. I'm not a doctor, but if you just have a nag somewhere, it just it doesn't feel comfortable anywhere.
Winning cures all.
It's true. I think there was that little Scotsman named Stephen Hendry that actually won the world championship, and he had a broken arm or something like that. He had sprained his wrist. Had a little mishap in the bathroom, but still went on and played and won the championship.
That's unlucky there for Bex. Might be an opportunity for Emma. I wonder if she'll continue to be as aggressive as she's been. She started out pretty strong this match.
Yep, sometimes that's all you need. You just want that one chance. Yeah, Emma and Barry, best of friends. But unfortunately, both of them are trailing their opponents 2-0. She could take this yellow and that red that's near the bottom of the bunch, just on the left side. But you got to make sure of the pocket first. She's touching ball here. So in the touching ball situation, for all the newcomers, you can shoot away. So in that situation, Emma's cue ball was touching the red ball, and she could shoot anyway, as that counts as the first contact. Or a loophole in that, or a different kind of ruling. If you were on a colored ball and say you were touching the black, you could nominate the black as your colored ball and shoot away, or you could actually nominate a different colored ball, and as long as you hit that first, say for instance the blue, it would be a complete legal shot.
So long as the ball that's touching the cue ball does not move.
It's true, dude. We all have to start somewhere. You know, they didn't get to the moon on Apollo 1. It took them 11 missions, so.
Yeah, you can never compare someone's chapter 100 to another person's chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we're here at Ox.
Definitely, I think a lot of the American and the Canadian players talking, they were just thrilled that some of the British players were coming over to play, so they really could learn a lot from them. As this is a game where you got to take your licks, and sometimes you got to lose, and you learn a lot from it. Young Marissa Dew, who's a 13-year-old, the youngest in this tournament, was just fractions, a hair, a ball or two away from making it to this knockout round. So, yeah, and with that Mink victory, that's just going to inspire more and more little girls to pick up the cue. So it's like a great chance for a healthy contribution for Bex. Yeah, don't want to get ahead of yourself too much, know those few shots ahead, but then when you come down to it, concentrate on the shot at hand. Don't want to take anything for granted. right side of the blue there. She does have that red above those group of 3 together. The angle will force her to come up for the pink or blue. Yeah, she'll lose a little bit of control of that cue ball, taking that red near the black. Does she eye a plant here? It's tough. There's a little bit of space between the balls. That makes those plants just a little bit more difficult when they're welded together, the 2 reds in a plant position. It's a lot easier. Well, could have been better, could have been worse. Looks like she's eyeing up that green or that pink. She's going to have to go around the world a little bit to get back down the table. There's the green. It looks like she could just go alt cushion and then come down, so... to run a little bit more. So this looks like it's end up break here for Bex. But she's definitely in the driver's seat in this 3rd frame. Yeah, these odd frames are always so important. Usually they're breaking a tie or putting you close to a victory. But you gotta have patience. Emma not wanting to force the issue. All right, this is the Parker train leaving the station. Ready to pick up some points in this 3rd frame. It's okay. Can come back up for the blue. I think that red is blocking the pink. angle here for Emma to go into them. How's her luck? Okay. It's a little tricky because she's going to be queuing over that pink ball, and that just adds another element of difficulty. Okay, so she was touching that red ball. It's tough to see from vantage point. Yeah, players are having a little chat. I was wondering if there wasn't actually a touching ball.
Called a foul on that one. He awarded Beck's foul points.
Maybe it wasn't a touching ball then.
We'll have to get a clarification when this frame is over. But for now, we'll go with the ref on the floor, Dave Daly, in control of things.
Yep, the referee's decision is the final decision. Even if the players were disagreeing, they can have a chat about it afterwards. But now these reds are split open a little bit, so we'll see what Emma can do here.
Seems to be a lot of discussion on the chat as to the worthiness of events and tours like these, WWS being a pathway to the pros. The simple answer is it's worthy, and the players that win the WWS deserve to be on the pro tour. That's just the way it's set up.
It almost is like if we were to use in America a baseball analogy. There's single A, double A, and triple A baseball, and then you get to triple A, and the next step is making the pros.
Yeah. What about people from cities that don't have a triple A? Yeah, it's just, this is the way it's set up, and it's great. They're giving people from different parts of the world opportunities to join the main tour. They're giving women opportunity to join the main tour, which hasn't existed. That opportunity hasn't existed since 1875. So,
Really? What happened in 1875?
Mr. Neville Chamberlain, not that one, invented this game.
That's a nice shot there. A little apologize from Bex there. Didn't mean to be greatly on the pink there, but it's worked out for her advantage. Get some extra equipment here, I think. She's probably going to be queuing over this red. There's going to be going over top of it's going to be a bit more difficult.
Women have been welcome, so someone's saying that it's completely untrue, that women have not had the opportunity. But apples and oranges, my friend. Not here to start a fight, but the truth is, even today, there are women who are not allowed in certain places to play snooker, and that scenario has been around for centuries. So the opportunity has not been there for women.
Yeah,
They're welcome on the tour for sure.
Talking with a lot of the British players like Emma and Bex, and Mary and Jamie, they got in the game, they saw the game, and they really enjoyed it. But they were, pleading with their dad, I want to go to the snooker club. I want to go to the snooker club. And it was like, no, this is, a men's club supposedly, which I think is a little bit of BS. Everyone should be able to be entitled to play the game. So eventually they did get into the club, and they're showing their worth. And I'm pretty sure. Believe you me, I wouldn't want to be playing any of these women. They're really good.
Yeah, we're talking about the standard in America. We need to improve that in order to be competitive in the world stage. We got to start with this step one, and then we just put the next step and the next step. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about this tournament. Like, obviously, I think a lot of the American players, when they hear British are coming over, if they're aware of snooker, they know that snooker is a highly dominated game by the Brits. And, if you're playing against one and maybe you could stake one frame, the amount of confidence that would just exude in them would be marvelous. Yeah, actually, Ash, talking with all the ladies, they've really enjoyed their stay. A lot of them, wanted to do the American thing and go see a baseball game.
Yeah, we have a great stadium here. Mariner Stadium. I forget who the sponsor is now. Maybe somebody can tell us in the chat, but T-Mobile, I think, is the name of the stadium.
Yeah, I think with going to sponsorship, it's just, they're going to get a lot of people in that stadium, and I think that's what they need to see, and that's what we're hoping with all you great viewership out there, is you can tell your friends and your lovers and your relatives just to tune in, because when sponsorship potential starts to see the numbers and realize, oh, there's actually a good amount of people watching this, well, maybe we'll throw that tournament some bucks and just...
oh, what a double.
If they can put their little logo up there on the screen. So it all comes down to dollars and cents.
Yeah, very, very nice double there. So Donald's asking, how does it help the women's game if they get on the tour and then not win a frame? That was last year. This season they have. So that's how it helps. Baby steps, incremental growth, measured, determined. And with that, this frame is over. Nice job there, Bex. And
Bex takes
next?
a commanding 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
And just an update over as well, Jamie Hunter has a commanding 3-0 lead. So Jamie and Bex are on the precipice of moving on to the final. But right now, as the two competitors take a little comfort break, we'll take a break and step aside for a quick commercial break. And there's a lovely shot of the room here in Ox. It does have 4 tables, just where Bex and Emma are set up. There's a table behind there, unlit. Is actually in the far corner, the top part of your screen. I think we have a little Challenge Cup match over there. Now, the Challenge Cup takes place at these tournaments for any of the players that did not make the knockout round. So a little chance to stay in it and maybe win back your entry fee or get a little bit of money. And as well, on the right side of your screen, you can see Mary Talbot at the table looking to crawl back into her match. Unfortunately, she just rattled that red in there, just struggling a bit to find her form in there. Gail, we're hoping that 6 p.m. is when we're going to be having the finals. That's 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's 6 p.m. local time here in Seattle, Washington, US of A. We're on the West Coast. And Bex Kenna here to break off frame 4. Actually, on table 2, it's 3-0 in frames for Jamie Hunter, but Mary Talbot is leading the 4th frame 23-0. And if you're wondering about the Challenge Cup that I was just alluding to, Jamie Miller and Kathleen, our oldest competitor in the tournament, Kathleen Stewart, I believe it is. Kathleen Stanley, my apologies. They're tied 1 frame apiece. The winner taking the Challenge Cup has to get 2 frames. And I believe Jamie is ahead in the 3rd and deciding frame 14-6. And we're just getting underway here in frame 4, a very important frame for Emma, if she wants to continue her hopes of putting her name in the history books as the first World Women's Snooker U.S. Open champion. But you can't let your opponent sniff back in the game, so Bex is going to be playing strong. And Christian Younger's tuning in. Thank you, Christian. He's unfortunately not with us this weekend. He has some personal things to deal with, which can happen in life, but he's done some fantastic work with all the technical gadgetry that we have here, the microphones, the cameras, computers and stuff like that. So Christian, we are really appreciative of your work. Hopefully maybe you're back in time next weekend for the U.S. Nationals, coming here as well, live at Ox Billiards.
He's playing.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, Christian's been a huge help here with the stream and actually had to call him this morning on an issue. So although Christian is not here, in a way he is, he's kind of always here. So great to have him on the team.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is it the Ghost of Christian Past, Ghost of Christian Future? Something there. He's floating around here somewhere.
Christian's always the future.
But past or future, Emma's got to start being, in the now, focus on the task at hand. Don't let herself get ahead of it too much. Her back is up against it, but stranger things have happened on a snooker table. That's for sure. Back at last year's British Columbia Open.
Nice little shot there.
In Vancouver, local CCU roared out to a 2-0 victory over Max Guan, and it looked like CCU was going to punch his card to become the BC Open champion, but Max Guan turned around and won 3 on the trot. So then it seemed like Max was going to take the title, but then CC stopped the bleeding and tied it 3-3 to force a decider where Max took the BC Open championship. So you're never out until you're out.
Yeah, we were watching that match here in Ox, and I'm not ashamed to say that we were rooting for CC, and yeah, that was a bummer for us, but it was actually kind of cool in a way because we had a nice little crowd here watching the screen. Everyone kind of stopped what they were doing, cheering CC on, and it just wasn't to be.
We got a good thing going on here, Mike. between Canada and the U.S. up here in the Pacific West, as we like to call it. I know in America they like to call it the Pacific Northwest, but back home in Vancouver, in Canada, I think that would be the Pacific Southwest if you look at it geographically.
Yes. Our northwest is south of your southwest, I think. Or maybe your southwest is north of our northwest. As Bukowski put it, south of no north.
But yeah, definitely Mike and I have been discussing, don't know if any of you had tuned in, a few years ago when we had the great, but now unfortunately deceased Bay's room. That's where we had our first ever border battle. 2 gentlemen from Canada and 2 from America, and it was great fun, and we're hoping that we can continue to do that. I think now that things are easing up with the pandemic and travel can go more freely between the 2 countries, look forward to that. I think that should be great fun.
Yeah, we're always looking for a border battle. I think it's going to be a good thing for the both clubs, Top 147 and Ox, to get that going again. This is an interesting frame right here. They are playing safe until someone makes a mistake. And it looks like with all the red balls up at the bulk area, whatever break that does finally occur, they're going to have to work to make a big break. Just seeing all the red balls up there. And
maybe the elusive and not very well heard of banana break, which is 15 reds, 15 yellows.
The minimum. The minimum maximum.
The mini-max.
Break from Life did a video on YouTube about the record lowest break clearance.
But that's mine. It's minus 12. I think it actually has been done. We need the wizard of all information, David Brock, tuning in, but I think someone did actually do.
Is it Mark Allen, maybe?
I think it was a long time ago. I think it was 15 reds and 15 yellows, and then ran the colors.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's more impressive, I would say, going up and down the table like that.
Well, you never know, because sometimes it could be in a situation like this where a lot of reds go up to the bulk end and stuff, and the green and brown could get tied up. Are tight pockets, that's for sure. Even the best of the best have trouble with them.
Yeah, these tables are professional grade pockets and cut. And talking to some of the players on this tour, they rarely play on tables like these. They're looking for places with tables like these. So it is a big difference between going on club pockets and pro pockets.
Interesting, going back to the border bottle. I'll have to talk to you and Jonathan and maybe start up getting a kitchen in your clubs. I don't know if I had mentioned to you, but I met a Kenyan gentleman up in Vancouver. And he says back in Kenya, they have certain clubs, but it's a whole tournament about everything. So clubs are judged on how the tournaments run, who wins the tournament, what the food is like, what the hospitality. It's a whole interesting community. I don't know. Maybe we should book our plane tickets to Kenya and source it out and see how it's like.
I'm not sure why Top 147 doesn't have a kitchen, but I'll I'll tell you why Ox doesn't, and I don't want the tables to smell like food. It's not the biggest place, and there's, if we're gonna have a kitchen, I'm not sure a good quality hood would keep this whole room smelling, or not smelling. I don't want tables that smell like pizza, grease in the air.
Well, the one thing I must say about your room here, Mike, is you are close to food amenities. The thing up in Jonathan's room, it's a great room. It's just some food is a little bit difficult to get. They're not immediately close by. And if anyone's been to Richmond on a weekend, it's very tricky to drive in. There's a lot of people coming out. The streets aren't that great. Some of the drivers are not the best drivers in the world. So I do tell players if they're going to go out and try and get some food, word of warning, go now. Don't leave it to the last minute.
Let's see what Bex can do here. Try to weave a break out of all these balls. It'll be a task for sure. That's a nice little stop shot.
She's very impressive with that rest. Really been amazed by her form. The entire run of the tournament, I think she had a round robin match where she was, 98% with the rest. Only missed one shot, so. I know a lot of pool players complain about the rest, thinking, oh, why do I have to use this? But the idea is opposite with the snooker player. Obviously it's nice to put your hand on the table, but know that from time to time you're going to need to use that rest, so it's no point in avoiding it. You're going to have to master it one of these days.
To that point, when we give pool lessons and someone says they hate the rest, I hate the bridge, we start working on the bridge. We start familiarizing themselves with the bridge on that same lesson, and then they start making the pots. They start learning how to use the bridge. They make their balls up and down the table, and then after the drills are done, I ask them, so how do you like the bridge? And they always say, oh, I love the bridge. Now I love the bridge. I know how to use it. And just, I guess, with anything, if you don't know how to use it, chances are you might not like it.
Yeah, and we're all not the height of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so...
Yeah, you got to use it. It's just you have to use it, especially with snooker. If you're leaning over your body, your table's just in an awkward position, your cue action isn't precise, then you'll pay the price and your opponent will clean up, like hopefully Bex does here, she's hoping.
Was that the sponsorship in you talking?
I don't know what you're talking about. Did I have... Oh, my God, where's that red going?
Very trained to be unbiased in the booth here. But Mike does do some... Ox does do some sponsorship for Bex.
Just trying to avoid that red, touching that red. It's kind of either a long bridge, an awkward bridge. Might be best to have a long bridge so you don't even have to worry about hitting that red ball. Just change your shot completely.
Yeah, because any little fabric of clothing that touches an unwanted ball is a foul.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe want to come back just a little bit to be on that pink, so...
She's about a half ball. Let's take a look at this, maybe. Yeah, you can see right there. That red is just poking out.
Just taking a look at that red just by her left elbow. Great discipline there too. Just feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Something twitched a little bit. Gets up. Goes back at it.
Nice.
That is actually a foul if hair touches it. And actually it has been an issue with the male players as the great player Rory McLeod has quite a long beard. And at one point his beard did touch a ball and a foul was called.
I love McLeod.
Yeah, it's interesting how Bex does where the ponytail is. Emma ties her hair back up, and then we have Mary on our other table who's got a short haircut, and then Jamie just lets it flow naturally. So,
yeah, when I had hair, I used to grow it long when I was younger.
I think we all grew our hair when we were younger.
Yeah, Donald's giving you kudos for the knowledge on the Roy McLeod incident. And, yeah, David Burney is very knowledgeable on snooker. What a rattlesnake.
Another tip of advice, if you do have a beard out there, one handy tip is to get some beard oil. Because sometimes if you have a little goatee or a beard, you might just get little bits of hair caught in your cue as you're feathering through, and it just can be an annoyance. But head on over to your drugstore or wherever you get your hair products and get a little bit of beard oil. You rub that in your beard, and it's smooth sailing, and that cue will just go through like there wasn't any hair at all.
Let's see if Emma can put on a little counter break. She's not too far behind. Bex did a lot of work freeing up the bulk area, get all the colors back on their spot, and probably a total clearance might be in the cards.
Yeah, there's no real trouble red. They're kind of all out in the open, so it's just a matter of concentrate and focused. As I did have Emma in the booth before, I was asking her, how do you find that concentration? Obviously, when we're new players, we want to make a high run, a high break and stuff like that. But a lot of the time we start jumping into the unknown. We start maybe getting into the 30s or 40s and we start getting excited. And she's like, you can't think about the century at all. You've just got to think one ball at a time. Just concentrate on that.
It's an unfortunate red ball that rattled in the pocket before she shot that blue. When we were in Milton Keynes, we were with the great Nick Barrow, and his drills require you to hit the object ball in the middle of the pocket to get the required angle for your next shot. And that one did rattle a bit, which put the cue ball in between shots on our colors. And I do bring up Nick Barrow because he will be at Ox September 24th and 25th, giving a coaching clinic. I believe there's one, maybe two spots available on Saturday. Sunday is full.
And to follow up, Nick Barrow will be in Vancouver, Canada, right after that, from the 29th to October 5th. So if any Canadians are listening out there and are in the Vancouver area, I suggest you to check out the Snooker Gym, which is Nick's site, and get in touch with him and set something up. I think he's going to be doing group sessions, and there might be some single one-on-ones.
Yeah, totally. If it's players also from the Seattle area that want to go, but we're all booked up. It's a great trip down to Top 147. It's worth the trip to go see Nick Barrow. You will absolutely improve your game.
That is true that the great Canadian Cliff Thorburn did win the world championship with a mustache. I don't think there has been a world champion winner with a beard. There have been some world championship champions that have grown a beard, as I think we remember last season. Mark Williams had quite the beard, playing in a few tournaments. But I don't think there is anyone that has had a real thick mustache or beard, shall I say. So, but there's always firsts. The beardos could raise the cup.
Archit Single in the chat got the last spot on Sunday. Yeah, I saw that, Archit. I think it's going to be great to have you here, especially with Nick Barrow. Back with Bays, Archit was instrumental in introducing me to Nick Barrow. We had a little conference call with him. So it's really cool that you'll be there. Archit, looking forward to seeing you. David Putty. Is that your real name or is that a Seinfeld reference?
No, that is Mr. David Putty. How you doing, David?
That is awesome. High five.
Well, obviously you weren't there when we were at the Richfield Cup in 2016, and that's the first time I met Mr. Putty, and David told me the story the next day that him and Charlie went out to a bar, and they told the waitress that, "Hi, I'm David Putty, and this is Charlie Brown."
Well, David brings up in the chat, look at this safety. That's not what he brings up, but that is an amazing safety. Well done. Q David Daly. Oh my goodness. I'm getting my Daves and Davids mixed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out there. You know, there's also Dave Hendon over there in the UK, the great David Vine, which was a presenter at the World Championship for many years.
Got out of that. Very good. So what David Putty was saying is that Nick Barrow will be in Toronto. Yeah, absolutely. Go to the snooker gym. Check out where Nick will be. Get your ticket.
And this is really great to see. You know, you had brought Judd over. There was talk about Judd coming again this year. Ricky Walden has come over. Michaela Tab has come over. Now Nick Barrow's coming over. So I think a lot of these people over in the UK, where snooker is so prevalent, they're now seeing, hey, there's a market in North America. There's an interest.
Yeah, come on over to the West Coast. We got Seattle. We have Embassy Billiards over in California, who just got their tables redone by the great Simon Barker. Their room is looking amazing. They have new lights up. Might be a future spot for the USSA Nationals. I'm just saying that. I have no idea. But it would be a great spot.
Yeah, for once I don't see anyone paying you off to say something interesting. Well, this black is in fact Beck's frame and match ball here. Yeah, 34 on the table and 27. 34 down for Emma, and there's 27 on the table. But it's just 2 snookers to win, so and there are a few hiding places for Emma, so anything's possible here.
Stephen Feeney, David Putty says, will be in New York in September. Canada and the U.S. are starting to attract attention internationally. Yeah, SiteRight is quite the tool. It's It'd be very useful for pool players as well, I would imagine. Yeah, it'd be great to take that course as well. We have a few members here that use the SiteRight tool, the Pocket.
Looks like Emma
SiteRight.
got the snooker there.
Looks like it.
But always the old saying is, when you need 2 snookers, you pretty much need to put 6 or 7 down to really get your opponent.
Good point there, Dr. Snooker. He says that if the first frame went to Emma instead of the steel that broke her spirit. Yeah, it's one of those things. Sorry about that. Got to get the doorbell. It's one of those things. Is like you can't let a loss beat you twice, and so it's tough to recover from something like that.
But all of them are fierce competitors. Obviously, yeah, it's deflating that frame was stolen, but you kind of just got to shake it off. And it was only the first frame. Potential of 6 more frames to be played. So.
Is it in? Ooh.
She doesn't want it to be. And that might just have the paste get behind the brown. Or maybe not.
Careful with the in off. Getting to know these players. I know that we sponsor Bex, but getting to know the players that have come in from overseas, it's hard to see them lose. I mean, someone's going to have to lose and someone's going to have to win it, but they're all just really great people, competitors. We've had a great time with them. We hope they'll be back next year.
Yeah, the great Jim Masterman, a player from Vancouver, once was playing a tournament and he had lost a match and was just not feeling into it. And some gentleman comes up to him and goes, "Hey, what do you see?" And Jim was like, "What are you talking about? I just lost. I don't want to get anything." He's like, I just see a bunch of losers here." I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Well, there's only going to be one winner, so everyone's going to lose." So Jim kind of took that, and he's like, he now played to that. Unfortunately, Jim passed away a few years ago. He was a great guy who lost a great, but that was a very interesting story that he relayed to me many years ago. So,
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. It's not false.
and all you tuning in on the stream, we do have our good friend David Putty out there. And just if you're in the Toronto area in Canada, he's one of the founders of the Canadian Q Sports Academy. And they've had over 100 new students in this year alone. So that really tells me that a lot of people are starting to pick up the cue, getting into this wonderful game of snooker. And I think they're also playing pool as well. But hopefully their main passion is the big game, personally. We need to get another Canadian world champion. I know you Americans want your first, but it's been a long time since we've had ours.
You had your chance. That was a good out there. Nice little safety by Bex, and then a nice little escape by Emma.
This could be a good opportunity for Emma to get one of those snookers that she needs. O'Donnell, I don't think there's ever been an American player on the main tour. However, Akmal Ali was the first American. Wow, what a pot there by Bex. Akmal Ali was the first American ever to play at the Crucible this past year when he played at the World Senior Snooker World Championship.
Yeah, we're going to have to get him on the mic when we stream the Nationals next week. And he's going to have to tell us all about that experience.
Oh, and there's handshakes there.
Here we
So
go.
a whitewash here for Rebecca Kenner. Ox's sponsored own is moving on to the finals. And it looks like we're in the latter stages of the other semifinal. It's a 3-0 there. I wonder if we could maybe just switch over to our other camera. We'll get some bonus coverage for all of you to see the conclusion over there. Mary Talbot trying to crawl back into this fourth frame. She's down 53 to 45, and she is trailing 3 frames to nothing. So here's the shot there. And our graphics team is just going to quickly update the score. But Mary Talbot is at the table, trailing 53-45. 8 points are in it, and there's 25 on the table.
All right, does that look correct? It looks correct.
Yes, good eyes, Mike. Fantastic. That is an updated score there. As you can see, Jamie Hunter does have 3 frames to the good.
Do you or Em?
And with this bonus coverage, fresh off her match win, I'm welcoming Bex Kenna into the booth. Hey, Bex.
Hello.
Pretty interesting. Usually rushed off to press conference, not going into the commentary booth.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So you were actually just in this situation, up 3-0, as Jamie is right here. What do you feel Jamie has to do here just to get the victory?
Well, I haven't seen much of this, so let me just take the score line in. Obviously, I was concentrating on my match. So this is pretty close. 8 points lead. Brown's pretty safe, so you're probably just going to play for good safeties and snookers here till the game opens up a bit. Not an easy clearance with that brown where it is, so you see Mary's just trying to get that white behind the brown to get the advantage of getting some snookers.
And congratulations for making the finals. How you feeling?
Thanks. Feeling very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to come through without dropping a frame. it was a more tough test against Emma. Can score pretty well, so pretty happy that I managed to score pretty well and get the win.
Sure, it was a great steal in that first frame.
Yeah,
you
on
had
the
there.
black, yeah. Right, that's a great pot there. And now that blue's much nearer the brown. The clearance is a little bit nicer, so let's see if she's able to take this and nick this frame and get back into this match. Yep. Does she have a nice angle on this blue to get down to pink? Be a nice little steal this. I don't know who were in the lead first, whether it's close throughout. This is a tricky one.
Yeah, they're always tricky when you're going from one side to the other.
Yeah, so she could have played it a bit harder to get a bit closer to the pink, but she's left us off with this. Just needs the pink. Oh, and she gets it.
Wow,
Lovely.
great shot.
Great cueing. Right, so 3-1. The comeback is on.
It is, it is.
More interesting now, isn't it?
Definitely, for sure. So you've been enjoying your stay in Seattle here?
Yep, been loving it, yeah. Fantastic. Loads of nice places to eat. Lovely weather. Good venue here. So, yeah, been really good.
And you'll be coming back soon?
Yeah, whenever they'll have me, I'll be back.
So we do have, on the live stream, we do have our fans tuning in. They can put comments or questions. So we do have Bex Kenner in here, if anyone has any questions.
Oh, thank you. Just reading some of the comments. A lot of well dones. Well played. Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yorkshire puddings. No, but they're for Yorkshire, aren't they? So when I'm in different countries, I like to eat their food. So I've been sampling a lot of their lovely breakfasts and things.
Well, if we get you up in Vancouver, there's a place that has a great Sunday roast with Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, nice.
And
I'll
we'd
give
like
it a
to hear
try.
we'll get the Yorkshire girl to give the rating on it, see if they do it well.
Okay, will do.
So we'll work hard to get a tourney up in Canada.
Yeah, I've actually got relatives, distant relatives up in Canada, so I don't know whereabouts though. Victor Laszlo, looking forward to playing with Max Elbit. Yes, I am very much looking forward to that. I hope he's fighting fit 'cause I know he's had some neck problems. So, yeah, the mixed doubles is going to be amazing. And that's the next event for me. So, looking forward to that in a few weeks. Thanks, Chuck. Right, so the comeback is on. Have these frames been close? I've obviously had my own match to watch, so...
Well, we've been tuned into your matches. It's been the TV table, so looking
Oh,
over
right, yeah.
a little bit here and there. Jamie did come out of the gun pretty quick, pretty fierce. So I think the last couple of frames have actually been quite close. So
Good. I hope they have a right big old tuffle now, and it drains the life out of one of them. And I'll get some nice rest before the final. So that's a good first red. This is a kind of shot you practice. Misses the green and the pack though, luckily. Yeah, when one red gets left for you, you play that, and then off one of the bolt colours into the pack. So she's pretty lucky she didn't get into the pack nicely there, and then leaving Mary on. A little bit of tension there, maybe.
yeah, you're not over the line until you get over that line. It's always that
Yeah.
last round's the toughest.
Yep, definitely. My last frame there were a little bit scrappy. I did try attack my way through it, but I did leave Emma some chances. She just weren't able to put them away today.
Chuck is wondering, Bex, if you have any experience in playing pool or carom billiards.
No experience in carom billiards. I've played a bit of English billiards and English pool. Yeah, I used to play English pool before I started playing snooker in my late teens. But then once I got into snooker, I just kind of got away from pool because it's totally different, and I really enjoyed snooker more. So pool is not very good for your snooker game, although snooker is good for your pool game. So give it a try, pool players. Attacking shot there. Jamie's a really good English billiards player. Yeah, so she's just started playing billiards. I think if you're talking about Jamie, who's in this semi-final right now. I did play a little bit of billiards when the events were in the Northern Snooker Centre in Leeds, and I won an event, I can't remember which. I think it was like the World Women's Billiards, so I won one and got into the final of the other, losing to Emma Bonnet, who is a fantastic billiards player. So yeah, I have played a bit of billiards, but I wouldn't consider myself a billiards player. I like to play a thing called snilliards, where I basically play at snooker instead of billiards, and I just go for the pots all the time. So yeah, I'm not really a billiard
of snilliards.
Well, Mandy Fisher christened it that because snooker players tend to give billiards a try, but we don't play the billiard shots. So it was christened snilliards. So I just kept going for pots. So potting the red off a black spot and then up for blue and back down. Pretty much like how the pool players have been this time around in this event. You can tell the pool players because they're kind of going for every pot and going for doubles, and we tend to not really push the boat out and just play safe all the time, but they're kind of playing a bit of pool on the snooker table. You can see it. It's good.
Yeah, I think Mike has a game here called Snoopool.
Oh yeah, there's a new.
Have you played that?
No, I have heard of this new Snoopool, but I really just like snooker, so.
Likewise.
Yeah. Trying to stay away from pool. Good fun though if you're out on a night out. Oh, that's unlucky to knock that black in there. Got a good cue ball, or nearly a good cue ball as well. At least that puts the black on the spot. Ready for someone to attack this frame. Oh, you have a set of Snoopool. So with the purple and the... What's the other colour? Grey. Oh, nice.
It almost looks like a
give it a
Super
bash.
Snooker. Do you remember that? Did you ever play that with the
Nope.
pink, or not the pink, the purple and the orange ball?
No, but I have heard of that,
No.
yeah. I'll give that a go. Snoopool. Right, is there a shot to nothing on here? A little thin cut on that red. Wow. Tried to screw back up the table, I think, but when you throw your arm at the shot, sometimes that tip just lifts up and you just don't get that bite on the cue ball. I think she may have gotten away with it though.
Yeah, it looks like this blue covers that red to the middle.
Hi Daryl, Nova Scotia. That sounds far. Where's that?
On the other side of this continent. It's on the eastern side, so
Oh, right, that's not
it shares the
not too
Atlantic
bad.
Ocean with you English.
cool. All right, we'll get an event there and I'll be there.
Yeah, even any kind of event, Daryl. We'd love to come out to Nova Scotia. If you like seafood, it's a great place to go.
Yes, I do love seafood. Right, that's a good pot to land on the black there. So currently the black only goes to one pocket. So she's going to try and navigate how to clear that other pocket straight away, just to make the break building easier. It's looking like it's going to be a plant if she's going to try attack it that way. Sometimes you're best off not try to push the boat out too much and just pick off what you can, build your lead. Thanks for your question, Donald, and Phil has answered it correctly down there. That's what I charge anyway, but a lot of the other main tour pros charge a lot more, 40, 50 pounds per hour. So looks like she's going straight for this plant. Oh, that's excellent. So just, yeah, what I said about that plant to clear that other side of the pocket. She's not great easy on this black though, it's a bit low, but she has 2 reds that'll go to that corner again, so she's earned a good chance here. Deep screw. Great pot. This is another hard one because she's got to navigate around the black now. Yeah, just cued across that one a little bit.
Looks like she's giving a chance for Jamie now. She can kind of stop the bleeding, rebound, and
You can't really tell the angle here, but obviously she'd love to just screw back for the blacks to the right corner and then be able to clear the red to the left corner to open the black up again. Oh, she's having to go for safety. Didn't fancy it. Good cue ball though.
Ash Gooden is asking you, Bex, what your feelings about the shootout tournament. Do you think it's a good way to get people into the game with it being a shorter format but still keeping most of the snooker rules intact?
Yeah, I love the shootout format. Totally different to the regular snooker format, so it's good to have a change every now and again. To play in, it's just wild, so but yeah, really good experience. It's good when the crowd gets involved. Yeah, so I love it. And I am enjoying my experience on the Pro Tour. Obviously, it's hard work. Don't get nowhere near as many chances as I'd like. And the conditions, the cloths are just super rapid because they're always brand new cloths. So that's going to take some getting used to. But yeah, I'm loving being able to practice full time for the main tour and getting valuable experience.
You know, last year back in Vancouver, Canada, I was able to run a shootout tournament, and I think a lot of people weren't aware of it, what it all was all about at the beginning. But then when they saw it and participated, and they're like, "Oh, this is some good fun."
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one to replicate in local clubs as well. As long as you can get the timer sorted, it's really good fun, and anyone can win it. It's a good pot there up for blue. Donald, how well does Bex know Selby? Will they have some practice sessions together beforehand or just go in cold? I do know Selby. I met him in the 2016 Paul Hunter Classic when he won at the after party, and speak to him quite regularly. And we're currently trying to arrange some practice, but he's a bit injured at the moment, so just giving him a few days off, and then I'll get over and get some practice with him. Right, that's unlucky. Just trying to sneak back down there round, but couldn't quite get on it. So she's got a nice little lead here. And Mary plays all the right shots, so she won't be pushing the ball out too much. So I think she'll be pretty happy with where things are at the minute. But she can just get a good cue ball here. I don't think Mark will be listening to my lead. I'm going to be listening to Mark's lead. And I'm going to be trying to play safe and let Mark do all the potting, I reckon. I think he's got a little bit more experience than me. Ooh, fancy the long pot there. But this could open up a chance for Jamie to get back into the frame. That's a good pot. Just realised the time. Is it 20 to 6?
It is, yes.
So we're playing at 6 apparently, but
We'll see what happens.
unless the mighty comeback is on.
As much as you're obviously wishing for a decider that goes all the way down to the black ball, is there a player that you fancy over the other to play in the final?
Not really, either. I
Yeah.
don't mind. I've been in the final with both of these players a couple of times. I've got a terrible memory, so I wouldn't know which events. I think the last English women's one was with Jamie, and I won. Yeah, and I don't recall the other one with Mary in the final, but yeah, we've shared many finals. That's a tricky one, queuing over the green like that. Yeah, that'd be the better option, getting your hand on the table. So Mary has a really close bridge. I would feel very hampered if I had that close of a bridge, but Mary generally feels settled with a hand so close. I think it helps she's got very long arms, so it enables her to sight from further back as well as having a close bridge, so she's got a really good setup.
Mm-hmm.
So another chance for Jamie here. Side of the blue though. Gonna have to work the cue ball again. And again unlucky to kiss the brown. Fancying the attack, I think. Yeah, good cue bower to get the cue ball back. And the game's gone a little bit scrappy now. A lot of reds on the cushions. And a pink and brown. Yeah, not a nice table. It's a great pot.
Wow.
Just like she took that pink earlier. Nice still cueing. Lovely stun shot. Kept herself nice and still for that. And yeah, if she can cut this in and knock one of the reds off the cushion. Nick a few more points. She's got one off, but I don't think she's got a nice shot next. I should go for the plant.
The plant that's on the cushion to the left of the screen.
The
Or
one
the
on the
other one?
right.
The one on the right.
I think Mary generally knows the right shots to play. I don't think she'll push the ball out here. That's so hard. So I think she'll just get the cue ball on the top cushion. Well, the bottom cushion, technically. Could even hide it right up near onto the yellow. Yeah, that's okay, that. Good cue ball. Good night, Roy. Thanks for watching. And thanks for the good luck. The final is probably going to be on maybe 30 minutes after this match. I think we better let the other finalists have a little break.
True. Maybe we should see if someone can check with Diana, who's the tournament director, just what they're feeling, what the need is. I think they might just be having a discussion right now about it.
Yes, the semi-finals were played at 3 p.m. with the final scheduled for 6, but as it's now nearly 5:45 and potentially we have more frames. Oh, great screw back there. I bet she got a lot more in that than she thought she could.
Yep, we do have some spectators in the crowd, and the final will be best of 7, race to 4 frames.
Yeah, best of 7s, Phil. She's up straight away, overcut the blue. Ooh, and left a good few balls out here for Jamie to get back into this frame. So picking off this harder one first to get onto the black.
She might have a little saving grace with that red by the yellow pocket.
Yeah, landing so low on this, you can just go up for that. Nope, she's trying to hold. Oh, it's a good touch.
Viewers want to know, Bex, what's your highest break in competitive play and practice?
So in practice drills, I've had a few 147s in like lineup drills. In practice matches, as in non-WWS or WST, it is a 1-2-2, which I got against Stan Moody when we were practicing for Q School. I think my highest competitive match break was in Q School, which was a 92. That was to win in a decider, so it was a good 92. I've also had I had 10 reds, 10 blacks in the 2019 World Women's Championships. So that was an 80. I got an 88 the other day, 11 reds, 11 blacks. It's on my list to try to get 147 in a match. I'm sure it's on everyone's list.
I think so.
Yeah, but I really, really want one. Yeah, so she's taking these nicely so far, the last 3 open reds. Just queuing badly over this.
Yeah, the red, and then maybe the hair getting close to that pink.
Has she got a bobble with her to put her hair up?
Yep. Very inventive, tucking
Oh, yeah.
her hair into a shirt.
I think it's more the waistcoat that's going to bother on this shot. Digging down, you could put unwanted side here. Nope, she's taking it well. So now that red up there, up near the yellows, probably going to be the next ball. Unless she's feeling very attacking and wants to just try go into that one on the side. It looks like a natural angle to do so. Depends how confident you're feeling. Yes, nice.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah, I think when you've had a bit of luck here and there, you tend to go for them because you think, yeah, I'm getting good runs, so I'll do it. Sometimes when your luck's not in, you think, oh, don't bother canning into that. You'll probably cannon it and land on nothing. So, good attacking. Oh, yeah, she did seem to get up off that as if she knew it was missing. Is that a bit of nerves? Because after that Excellent cannon out there. She should have been taking that one.
But she's crawled back nicely in this frame. 3 points in it. 51 on the table, so still anyone's frame. Jamie needs this to punch her card into the final to take on our special guest in the booth, Bex Kenna. But Mary Talbot, it's nothing of that. Wants to force another frame in this match and get us to a decider.
Yeah, the current women's world champion, Mink, has made a 147. It was against another female player in the WWS. It was just a practice match, but it is on record, so you can see that on YouTube, I believe. But yeah, not in the World Women's Tour. I don't think anyone's had a 147.
No problem, Harriet. We're glad you're tuning in. This is a semi-final match for the first ever World Women's Snooker US Open.
Hi, Harriet. It's another WWS player and an excellent pool player. Yes, I am Donald, playing in the women's tour as well as the main tour. Ooh, that's a bit short. Right, can Jamie drop this in and get on to the pink or black? Looks nice.
Yeah, we'll see. I have to see what that yellow and blue, that's a nice little wall that's starting to be created there.
Yes, with this last red here, I think she'll just stun round, get a good white behind the pink and get a red safe, or she may go for the shot. Looks like the safety. Oh, that's nice.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh no. Would have been nice if not for the jaw. I can't tell from this angle whether she can see that or not. Yeah, playing it at that pace across the nap, you can always get a little bit of runoff. I would have probably just played that a bit harder to just eliminate that from the equation. She'll probably feel very hard done by there, but so 5 points to lead. Still thinking about what to do on this blue. Oh, needs a bit of luck here. Got it. Plum.
True, true.
She needs to just settle that Q arm though. She's thrown a few fast ones in, so she needs to just stroke this in nicely to give it every chance. That's the way. Oh, but it's not there. Second prize with the snooker.
Yeah, brown that is on the cushion there, so...
Just getting to that question then. If Rihanna and Yi are also playing on the both of the tours, could they be relegated from the main tour at the end of this season, then immediately promoted again via the women's tour? If the World Snooker do continue to offer 2 tour cards per year to the current World Women's Snooker Champion and then the next best ranked, then if Rianne and Onyi were to get relegated after this season, it would then depend if one of them... I can't believe she's missed that. And that'll be a free ball, I think.
I think so.
Sorry, this match is just getting a bit tense and you've asked me a very long-winded question there.
You're doing a great job of handling all these political questions, that's for sure.
So, yeah, technically, if they can still stay highly ranked on the World Women's Tour, they can get straight back on. But they would also have to... One of them would have to win the World Women's Snooker Championship as well. So one of the tour cards is for the World Women's Champion, so that could be anybody if you enter. Got to be in it to win it. So Jamie's taken the free ball there and snookered Mary behind the pink, making this next snooker a lot harder to get out of. Yeah, the angle there didn't seem nice. It seemed like there were some blues and greens in the way. Jamie's going to take full advantage with the brown being safe and put the balls back.
Well, Chuck Jones-Bex is asking you if you
Do I offer
sign any cue balls.
if you bring the cue ball, I will sign it. I do sell cue balls, but I sell the tournament champion cue balls, so they're quite expensive. So if you want to buy a cheaper cue ball for me to sign, you can bring it in or post it to me and I will sign anything and post it back to you. I don't think this angle's on.
This is starting to get really costly.
Yeah. But me and Emma had a frame like this where it was an advantage whoever got the snookers, and then I got some snookers back, then she got some snookers back. So just because you're at the needing snookers point, you can still, when all the colours are like this, nick one back and then snooker the opponent right back. So it's never over till it's over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't see, going from the left of the black, how she can get past the blue or green. I think she has to play it softer with a swerve to just sneak up the left-hand side of the blue. Obviously, it's a bit hard to tell from only you looking at this angle, but that's how it looks.
Did you ever think going top cushion and then the side cushion on the right side to the yellow, or
Which way?
coming down
Downwards.
downwards towards the top?
Yeah.
Or is that just a crazy
It's-
Canadian
It's
shot?
tricky because of how close the cue ball is to that top cushion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, could be.
It's been a great job here by Prathamish, who is our referee. He had a good showing in the Seattle Open here back in March, but unfortunately doesn't have the criteria to enter the U.S. Nationals. But We appreciate his help.
So Mary is looking your way now. It's very difficult to do, but she does have the advantage of having a lot of margin on the right-hand side rail. It's just such a tricky one to try judge. She's going to have a go at it that way though. She's decided that angle isn't on. So there's 24 points of difference here, so she could also think playing this softer to not leave the pot on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously she's making an attempt at the yellow, but not playing it too hard to leave a free ball or an easy cut. This looks pretty good. Oh. It wouldn't be a miss. I wouldn't have thought anyway, even if it was able to be a miss, because that was a great attempt.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's at the snooker's required stage, so it can't get put back. 28 points of difference with only 27 on. I think she's played at that nice pace to not leave the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't look like it from this angle, but yeah, so just one snooker from Mary. The balls are in a pretty nice spot, so if she does get that snooker, it will put a little bit of pressure on Jamie. This looks nice. Ooh, very close.
It's a game of millimeters.
Yeah, millimetre to the right there, and
So I don't think she's got it there.
another couple of rolls. It would have been lovely, but good long pot there.
Yeah, I think if this screen drops, I think you're going to be facing Jamie in the final.
Yeah, 28. That'd be 33 points of difference. It's 3 snookers on the brown. I think Mary will carry on for him. 31 points of difference, 22 on. So she'll just like to drop this in over the bag, I think. Give it every chance to go in.
Yep, 33 in it and 22 on. So the 3 snookers are required.
Good night, Donald. Thanks for watching.
When you're in the snookers required stage, if you're needing the snookers, and say there was an opportunity that an object ball is close to being potted for you, would you accept that or would you deny it because you want more balls on the table?
Yeah, well, just then she could have taken the pot on the brown because it. Is it 11? Yeah, it's still 3 snookers with the blue. So sometimes if you pot one of the other colours, it means you only need 2 snookers rather than 3.
Mm-hmm.
But the advantage is to have more balls on the table, to have more balls to snooker behind. So that'll be unlucky if that goes in.
Ooh.
Oh, would it be a handshake?
It is.
It is. It's all over.
So Jamie Hunter takes that 4 frames to 1, and she will be going to do battle with Bex Kenna, who's been joining us in the booth. Bex, thanks very much for joining us in the booth. Best of luck on the final. And I think, it's 6 o'clock right now. That was scheduled when the final was going to be, but I believe we're probably going to be going at about 6:30.
Yeah.
Trying to just catch the eye of our streaming producer to see if that is the case.
Yeah, I think Jamie will have a little break. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. And thanks for watching, everyone, on the live. And keep watching to watch the final.
Tune in about 30 minutes time, 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time. We're here at the first annual World Women's Snooker U.S. Open. It's David Burney doing commentary. We're live at Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington. Come back in about 30 minutes time to see this exciting final.
Ah.